Hi guys, it's Maureen, and today I wanted to share with you how I made these flowers using some muslin fabric. I have this one here, and this one I'll also show you how I made, and then I have little smaller ones. So what I've used is I bought some muslin fabric from Walmart, and I bought this quite a while ago. It's very cheap. It comes in several colors. This here of course is white, and I think I bought 2 yards for about $4. I can't quite remember. I bought this quite a while ago. And what else I'll be using are 2 different punches, this circle punch and this circle punch. Sorry about the glare. This one here is a 3-inch, and I use this one as my guide. You don't need to do this. You can skip this step. It just seems to help me. And this one here I use to punch out for the base. So I'm just punching out a piece of cardstock here, and I'll use that as my base. I'll set that aside for a moment. And I already have a circle cut out from this punch. Now, again, I'm making the 3-inch. This is a 3-inch, and that's this flower here. So it's quite a large flower. I love using these on mini albums, anything really. So what I like to do is fold the fabric several times. That way you're only cutting, you know, once or twice some flowers out. So I have it probably 3 layers here and 2, so I'm probably cutting about 5 at one time. So I just set my circle on the fabric, and I trace around it real lightly in pencil. Again, you can skip this step. It's just something I like to do to make it easier. And I'll be able to get 2 out of this. You don't see the pencil line when you're done. If you do, you can use that as one of the bottom flowers. Okay, so now you want to use a sharp pair of scissors and just follow your pencil mark. This does not have to be perfect. Okay, so there are my flowers, and I have a large stack that I've already cut out. You don't need that many. It varies how many I use. It just sort of depends on the look, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So now here is my cardstock circle from this punch here. I use this as my base to glue it on, and I use hot glue. You can use glue dots. You can also use fabric glue if you'd like. And what I do is just simply fold it in half, add a touch of hot glue, fold it in half again, and squeeze it. Let me zoom in a little. Okay, and then I add a little bit of hot glue down here on the corner, and I just try and get that point right into the center. Hold it down for a minute, and I'm going to repeat the process for the first layer. So I'm folding it in half, a little bit of hot glue, squeeze that, a little bit of hot glue, and put it directly across. Okay, grabbing another one, I'm going to do the same thing on the other 2 sides, alternating them. Okay, so now for the second layer, I'm going to again fold them in half, add a little bit of hot glue, fold it in half again, Add a little bit of hot glue and fold it in half again. Okay, now I want to go ahead and add that in between the two here, just to fill in those gaps. And I'll add it in between those two here. And then here as well. I like using the hot glue because it adheres so fast. You just want to be careful not to burn your fingers, of course. Okay, so you can see what I have so far. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing, adding them in here. Okay, so here's this here, which is really cute. You could stop here, but I like it a little bit fuller than this. So I'm going to add another layer. Okay, now when I get to this point, I like to look around and see if there's gaps in it. Like it's not real noticeable, but there's a little bit of a gap there. So I will take another one that I had cut out. It's a little bit smaller. Here's the ones that I cut out on camera. This one I had just sitting to the side. So I'm going to do the same thing, just fold that in half, glue it. And I'm not gonna fold it again, I'm just gonna leave it there and just basically shove it in down at the bottom here. So I'm gonna add a little glue on both sides and just kind of push it in there. That way you don't see a large gap. And I'm pretty happy with that. If there's any that are sticking out, that you're not happy with, you can just trim it off. If it looks a little bit longer than the other ones, so just trim it off a little. Okay, and once you're happy with that, what I like to do next is hold on with my thumb to the middle of the flower and just start pulling at it. It will release some of these threads and give it more of a little bit of a shabby look. I'll show you here. You can see it kind of, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's shedding here on my work mat. Again, this is a step you don't have to do if you don't like the look of it. And if you really wanted to, you could get in there with your nail and pull out some of the strings. And again, I'm holding real tight with my thumb here as to not pull any of them up. Okay, so I love that. Let me get all this fabric off my desk here and show you up close what it looks like. So to the center, you can add whatever you'd like. You can add just a pearl. I plan on, again, this is for a wedding, so I'm adding a rhinestone buckle. But in the center of the other ones, I've added just a pearl to this one. I've added an enamel dot to this one. You can add rhinestones if you'd like. So I'm just going to add quite a bit of hot glue down here in the middle. And the pearl should cover that up. So once I get it where I want it, I'm just going to press down, really press it down till I know that it holds. So there is the flower. Here's the first one that I did. I think these are super cute. I also wanted to show you what a flower looks like. I didn't show you this in the other ones with some tulle in it. There you go. You can probably see it right there. Let me get a black piece of paper to hold up to it. So this tulle here that I'm using, I got either from Walmart or Michael's, and it has glitter in it. So let me just show you real quick. I'm going to make another flower and show you super quick how I did that. The tulle, I'm just going to take a small piece, probably about 2 inches. Cut that across, and then I'm going to cut this in half. Okay, now what I'm going to do is alternate them. So I'm going to kind of crisscross them and add a little bit of glue right in the middle and set them in there. Just going to use my glue gun to push it down. Now I'm going to continue with adding the layers, this time going back to what I did with the other flower and folding it an additional time. So fold it in half, half again. Okay, so here you have it. This one I added tulle also to the very top layer, and this one I did not. So you can kind of play around and decide what you like. And here I have, sorry, not this one. This one I have colored on the ends. Let me show you quickly how I did that. I used some Adirondack alcohol ink in Wild Plum, and this stuff's very concentrated. You can use any type of spray that you have, anything that you have that you'd like to use. And I simply used some water, sprayed a little bit of water on my craft mat. I added just about 1 dot. Again, you can add as much or as little as you want. I was going for a lighter pink look, which I do. I have, it's a lighter purple, I guess. And you can use a paintbrush. I have a bamboo stick here that I use to just kind of mix that in. And I simply grabbed one that I had cut out, roughly cut out, and I'm just dipping it, lightly dipping it. Just going around the entire thing, lightly dipping. And if you add more water, it's going to dilute it a little bit more. And when it dries lighter than what it looks here, a little bit lighter. You can also speed up the drying process with your heat gun. And as you can see, if you let it naturally dry, or even if you use the heat gun, it will lightly curl the edges and give it a real pretty look. This one, I did not use as many layers, so it lays a little bit flatter. But again, super cute. I hope that you've enjoyed this and you give it a try. Thanks for watching.